Welcome to another week of MMO Concept Art. This is Steve Curtis, your instructor. With me is Sergio, Wolf, and Richard, and we will be hopping right over to Sergio to see the magnificent work that he has done this week. Here we come, Serge.
Okay.
I hope it's his version of the Pew Pew guy.
There's a story about that.
Look, Wolf, it's his version of the Pew Pew guy.
What?
We almost had to get a new keyboard, dang it.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, this is
Richard, is this
supposed
the
to be...
in the dark stuff that you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be Danielle. Grown up, of course, but it was. This was originally a cheat, so I wouldn't have to draw the other eye.
Never tell your secrets, Sergio. You meant for it to be that way.
Then, let me see. A bit more aggressive, let's say.
That looks like she's a heartbeat away from
And,
pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And this is, I don't know if you remember when I showed a few sketches, really little, made in ink. Let me see if I can
I do
just
remember
grab that.
point in fact.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you had a bunch of little
you said
ones on
something
one
about
page.
a shoulder. Yeah.
Mhm.
You saw one that it was kind of a shoulder pad. You saw it as a shoulder pad, let's say. So I did this. Let me see.
I have to ask, did you happen to go back and look at that drawing, or did that just pop into your head 2 months later?
No, it's. I just didn't know what to draw, so. Let's see. This thing was
There it is.
the original.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
So I did this, kind of throwing some kind of an Elysian armor parts, but yeah. Other than that, I did work a bit in
Wait.
the worksheet. Yep.
What are we looking at there? You said it's Elysian armor?
It's like a shoulder pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, it was the idea of a shoulder pad that Danielle might wear. So when she knows that she's about to go into a fight, that would just sort of be her, something that she wears every time.
Which one is Danielle? Is she the Elysian or the one that you restored?
No,
the person?
she's the human person, the only one that can access soul stones.
Okay.
The only
So
one
she-
so far.
So she has armor that it looks like it's like a skull
Yeah.
of some animal.
Basically, yeah. And we're basically thinking that it might not be the sort of thing that they would grab a bone and use that for armor, but they could certainly have an artisan with the crystals that could grow something to that form.
Yeah, I haven't read your story, so I don't know the whole story of Danielle.
Right now it's still mostly in outline form, but I think the outline is there in point form in a PDF in the C file folder.
So So she's living with the Alethians though, at
Yes.
some point, and so is the idea that she's starting to wear some of maybe their armor or
Yeah.
her own combination of?
Like, essentially, yeah, she would have spent the last 20 some odd years among them. So she would, in a lot of ways,
I
she
mean,
might
it's
feel
kind
that
of a
she has more in
hybrid.
common with them than with her own people. Because from her point of view, her own people kind of screwed her over.
It's kind of like Dances with Wolves, in a way.
Actually, I've never seen that one.
Really? God, you bastard!
Really?
Go see that one.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah.
actually, Kevin Costner epics are not on my list of favorite things, but you should see that one.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
The only thing I hate about Dances with Wolves is that it kicked off his whole fantasy epic 10-year crappy movie run.
Deep breath, Steve.
I know, I get upset.
So would she be wearing all of all her clothes? Would that be Alethian, or
No,
would she still have?
Wasn't she kind of a hybrid?
Yeah,
Like, I
she'll
mean,
still
she's still
have
dressed pretty much human, but
she'll still have regular clothing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it'd be like sort of her own custom take on armor that she would use.
Well, what time period is it? Is this when humans were living at Alethea?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the point that she arrives, they've been there for like 15 years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check the math on that one moment.
So she has means of getting human clothes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically when she arrives, it's in the midst of the Second Human-Alethian War. So,
in my head, she's always kind of been a female version of Malcolm Reynolds. Like, she just kind of goes where she wants and does what she wants in between the two.
yeah, pretty
And
much.
not a lot of allegiance to either side, or I don't know. That's how I've always seen Danielle.
That's about right, actually, yeah. And, like, there's a character that's going to come into play later on in the story, but, essentially, on the one hand, she should be staying low. She should be not trying to draw attention to herself, because there's elements in the human government that are still looking for her. And so you've got this military officer who's kind of caught in the middle, and when he does finally track her down, it's like, somebody like you who should be laying low and doesn't, you're not guilty of what they say you're guilty of. So, I don't know. I'm still working on the dialogue and all that, but
Sergio, bad things
it'll be
happen?
fun.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I'm just starting a lot of programs.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Ah, ZBrush. Sergio's open ZBrush. What you been up to, Sergio?
Nah, just modify the sword,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't done the low res of that yet, so...
One thing I started working on, I didn't finish it yet, but I don't know if you remember, you had us do that basic shapes concept art for landscapes or weapons or what have you, and I did that setup for a couple of different rifles and whatnot.
Indeed.
So I've started working on the larger rifle with that sort of
cool.
side hatch to pop the magazine into.
Gotcha.
So
Oh my god.
that's not done yet, but I'll be setting that up as well. Through
Sergio, I gotta tell
substance
you,
design.
mostly you make me just want to go slit my wrist.
well, there's a tool there for it, but I don't recommend it.
Oh dear. Let's see. in the graphical part. I started working also in the. This was Daniel's mother. Uh, it's a bit out of balance, and I need to correct. But yeah, I think I showed a previous version of this. Um,
Yeah,
Let me
it's
see.
terrible, Sergio, he said sarcastically.
Yeah, this is the one I had made previously, and
Yeah,
I
I
just
remember
grabbed
that.
this and started working on it. Uh,
She has a mechanical eye of some sort.
Yeah, and arm.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah, the arm was actually added later, but yeah, yeah, those are implants, augments. Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
We were
Danielle's mom looks like a
speaking of.
badass.
She is.
Yeah. We were speaking about this yesterday. The the uniform is not yet set, so I will pretty much help.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm thinking we're gonna try and figure out a uniform for the police. But I love the duster, so I want to work that in there.
Yeah, yeah, she's got to keep the duster.
Yeah.
she is a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically in the fringe sector where Danielle grew up.
On Earth.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, I had a sort of a basic 3D scene that I was working on that had like a domed city. It was sort of shielded from all the solar flares and whatnot. And then there was a bunch of just cobbled together structures along the outside.
Uh-huh.
And so that's basically where she is. So it's sort of a ragtag group of people that are just basically trying to survive, but if they go too far away from the city, they're going to get the full brunt of all that solar energy. So
So
they try to huddle in as much as they can.
on the ragtag outskirts, is it still all humans, or do they have some Alethians living with them?
No, this is
Well,
on
this
Earth.
is, yeah,
This is on
Um,
Earth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle's mother never went to Alethea. I
Ah,
was basically setting the stage for what happens on Earth,
ah.
and her mother was the story mechanism to do so.
Kind of like Superman, they ship him off in little pod.
Kinda. She basically, there's a pilot that ends up befriending Danielle, who is responsible not only for getting her off the planet, but for getting her back out of the secured sector so that she could see her mother. And as timing would have it, it was in her mother's last few moments. So she basically made that pilot promise to get her off of the planet. Don't care how, just get her away. Because they're not going to stop looking as long as she's here. So he only knew one place that would be at least as dangerous for them as it would be for her daughter, and figured that was the only option he had. So they went to Alethea.
So they experimented on her, or
Yeah.
they want to. Oh, they have, and they want
That's why
to do
she-
more.
Yeah, that's why she has the crystal. So she spent a number of years in hiding in the secured sector, and then it was just after her mother died, that's when she escapes Earth and goes to Alethea.
And how old is she at that point?
Just shy of 18 when she leaves Earth.
Ah.
Oh, I thought she went there younger than that.
No. She just appears younger. The idea with these particular kinds of crystals for both Cynthia and Danielle is that it extends their life.
Gotcha. I forgot about that. But now I remember you saying it. Is yet another testament to my awesome memory.
Yeah, I think the thing was is that it extends their life, but it doesn't keep them as a child for like a whole long time. I mean,
No.
you'll start seeing that when they become an adult.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you actually have the stone in her? I didn't even catch that before. Nice.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out exactly what it's going to look like, but that's a good starting point for sure.
Yeah, it might be better to have it
downwards.
to have it down a little bit, like instead of so much in the neck, a little bit.
Yeah, it's basically going to be just in the hollow of the throat.
Yeah. Yeah, and besides, I should point it downwards because this will hurt.
Yeah,
She
I was
looks
just
down.
gonna say she's gonna stab herself in the throat if she looks down.
But yeah, and surprisingly enough, I didn't put this on the Elysian. I didn't put any stone of any kind.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that-
I realized.
And it was
Well-
noticed by all of us. I mean,
Yeah,
none of
but
us.
No, I noticed it. I just didn't think it was a big deal because and I didn't add one to my drawing either. I mean, because the thing is, they're not all going to have this exact same kind. So it's a feature that's very easily, you add another object and just like push it into that mesh a little bit.
Yeah, I
That is
know,
true.
but
So it's
Yeah.
you wouldn't want it to actually be a part of that mesh, but
Code-wise,
But
it's
then
just,
again- so
Uh,
what?
for lack of a better term, code-wise, it's just a hard point on the model. We set that up
Yep.
and hook up the hard point to the bone that controls the neck, and it should follow along nicely.
Yep. That walk cycle's looking better.
It's looking better.
yeah, I've only redone this one. And yesterday I realized I grabbed an older file, so the skins in the weights of the skin in the waistcloth, this thing, are not correct. There is some interpenetration, but like right there.
Yeah, it's still not.
It's
yeah.
going through the
Yeah.
body.
This is still pretty mild. I mean,
I mean, yeah, we wouldn't want it to do that, but for
Yeah, no, I have to correct
demonstration
it.
purposes, it's certainly fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Other than that, I was trying to do something, but I don't know. I think I deleted the file. No, there it is.
I
Mostly for the cloth.
I just love that nebula is still your desktop. I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it does.
what's the nebula
Um,
from?
This?
Yeah, what's that from? Oh, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
little training thing on how to do nebulas and stars and planets. And
Oh, so
then-
that's
then he
you
saw
did that?
He saw that. Well, he followed the tutorial thing I did, and
Oh,
but then is that the one that I did? Yeah, that's the one I did, isn't it? And you
Huh.
saw
Yeah.
the face in it. So he just like
Yeah.
colored in the face. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, there
Right.
was a smaller one right here.
Yep.
That I think I deleted that one, but
But yeah,
It
that's
was,
what
uh,
got him going. It's like I never even noticed it, and there was like a perfect face up in one corner.
Yeah, I kind of remember that vaguely.
Yeah, I deleted it. Uh,
That's all right. On to actually important things.
yeah, for the cloth, I was trying to do this. I wanted to. I asked Richard, but we kind of don't really know exactly how to do this. I saw in a tutorial, but in YouTube, but it was really low quality, so I didn't really saw exactly what he did. But he had a lot of bones following a cloth simulation, like I have here. Um, let me just. And the bones follow the cloth, and he had the person that did it had another mesh of lower resolution for skin to those bones, so the higher resolution simulation, the cloth simulation, will bake into the bones basically, and it will dry the bones, and the bones will move the lower
Yeah, they'll
resolution
control
mesh.
the low res mesh.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't get it to work. Um, Mostly because I have no idea what he actually did. This was trial and error. Um, I got the bones to follow this, but um, it's like the pivot points stay put, don't follow the bones. Like they don't have any animation. Um, that's something that, uh, well, I asked Richard, and we'll see if we can find some more information, because if I can do this, if we manage to do this, the cloth um, might be the cloth animations will be better. But yeah, I don't know, Steve, if you know how to do this. Hello.
You're muted.
Oh, you're right. I'm muted. Ages ago I did a cloth in Unreal. I've never actually done a cloth sim in 3ds Max.
Oh,
One second, guys.
So yeah, I'm feeling very useless to you right now, Sergio, because I don't know. My background is entirely environmental art, and I have just not messed with cloth and fur and stuff very much. But I can try and see what I can find out.
yeah, because I've been trying to locate the tutorial again, and I cannot find it. Um, but yeah, all I did in these bones was actually adding a skin wrap. But honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing with this. Because if you see, let me scroll a little here. The pivot point for the bone I have selected stays put. Stays in the same place, so it's like there's no animation, and this mesh is actually already skinned to those bones, and it's not following. But yeah, if we could manage to make that work, that will be. I mean, it will be more work in the when we get to animation to finish the animations, but I think it will look better.
Alrighty, yeah, we'll see what we can figure out with that.
Hmm. I'm just looking through to see what other options there are. Like I know they have a few different cloth simulating systems, but finding one that'll cooperate
Yeah.
without having to save the position of every single vertex.
Hmm.
I will look into it.
Yeah.
Figure out.
Other than that, I modified this. I took out the guard and modified the pommel. I
Yeah.
think it's the word.
I like it like that. It's very sleek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like it a lot better than with this.
Yeah. And he can basically use both hands when he needs to, just on that upper part of it. But yeah, otherwise he's got the one-handed grip and good to go.
Unless he reverse draws or whatever, reverse grips.
Yeah.
See,
You guys wanna go down that road again?
you're gonna start with
Of
that,
course.
aren't you?
No.
Actually, I'll see if I can find it. I found a video a little while ago that had a good example of using the sword with a reverse grip.
Cool.
Well, they don't think that there's any repercussions.
Yep, that's pretty much all I did. I was actually thinking about once I finish the animations for the Lithian, I think I'm going to
The reason why I keep,
because I saw in the old videos when of the with the little meshes, let's say the game test, the videos of the game test.
Yeah.
That all players logged into a lobby and then where they choose a door or whatever and they went to the actual level.
Mhm.
And I was thinking if you're still going to use that, I might want to design the actual lobbies.
That would be outstanding. I actually made a very simple one for the tests, and Nelson never got it implemented. But it would be cool to have a very kick-ass lobby.
Yeah, mostly because I kind of need to distance myself a bit from the Lithian because it's pretty much everything. That's why I started drawing Daniel and all of that because it was pretty much all I was doing. And yeah, it's
And it gets to you.
yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, Wolf and I were discussing that with some of his stuff before the recording. Yeah, when it starts to get to you, you gotta step away, do something else. It's very unhealthy to stay after it.
If you force yourself to do something that you're not enjoying for whatever reason, you come to resent it, and that's no good.
Yep. And even if it doesn't get as far as resentment, you just don't do as good a work.
It's harder to be creative.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just it all just kind of starts running together.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So by all means, if something in your head is saying, "Hey, that'd be cool and fun to do," go do it.
Okay.
You have my blessing across the board.
No matter who gets hurt.
Hey now.
Yeah. I still kind of want to finish these ones, but and the animations on the Elysium. But yeah, after I finish the animations, I probably I don't know, start with the humans Um,
Yeah.
Probably finishing the models I started.
It'd probably be pretty good for you to, especially new to animation, if you started with human animation. Just because that's a lot easier to, instead of speculating on how Eleuthians might walk, you can just, we're all very accustomed to how people walk.
Yeah. Let me see.
And if you're burning out, if he's got a pretty good walk animation, just be happy with that for now. Hey, if we can walk him around in a game, that's good enough for the moment.
Right.
And I think I've got a pretty good walking animation for Danielle. It's the mesh deformation that I'm having issues with. But once I've got that, I think she'll pretty much be ready to go. So
That will be excellent.
and that's actually something I'm really looking forward to. Like, I'm not really burning out on it yet. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way is to approach the game resolution geometry of the joints. But once that's done, I'm really looking forward to just having fun animating her walking around doing stuff.
What do we have, Sergio?
Yeah, then this was a test. This I did entirely on Sculptris.
Which is impressive because Sculptris is easy to use, but I find it difficult to get good results with. So I'm really impressed.
Yeah, especially when you're used to symmetry in ZBrush. It works a bit different here. Here when you activate symmetry, it actually mirrors everything, so if you had any asymmetrical details, they will go away.
Yeah, they get wiped out.
Yeah. And coming from ZBrush, yeah, you model symmetrically, but if you have asymmetrical details, you don't think of them like the last move, so you pretty much put them at any time. And yeah, I had to redo a lot of the wrinkles and all of that.
So
once I finished.
in this one, you have to do any non-asymmetrical stuff, or any non-symmetrical stuff, any asymmetrical stuff at the end.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because the minute you
if you
switch over,
don't-
you'll wipe it out.
yep.
Huh.
So we took that
Yeah.
8 out of 10 and put that 7 back in.
Yeah, other than that,
Yeah,
it went
yeah.
better than I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, Danielle's look better, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, mostly I did this to see if I could use sculptures, but
Well, you can use it.
yeah. But I think it would be. I kind of liked the face for human characters. Probably I would do it a bit younger.
It's it's a little stylized. It's a little bit cartoony.
Yeah.
In a way, it kind of reminds me of what's that Steam game, Team Fortress
Team
2?
Fortress, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like he seems like it could be a character there. It's like partial caricature in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of stylized.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, I do. he's very graphic arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it.
Well done, sir.
Yep.
The art was spectacular. I love the characters. The sword just annoys me with how awesome it is. And I think the animation is coming along very good. And yeah, I mean, if you've reached... I mean, I haven't seen it actually in Unity, but just watching the cycle in Max, it looked like he had his walk cycle worked out pretty good. And if you're burning out, then man, we'll work with the walk cycle and just walk away from it for now.
Yeah, I mean, that's like so much better than someone without their legs moving, just kind of floating around.
Yeah. I mean, our last test thing was a little floaty wizard guy made out of like 4
Yeah.
basic
I had
shapes.
Head in a triangle or cube triangle. What are the cone? Thank you.
I had half a mind to just take that character and animate it so that when he started walking forward, his legs and feet just kind of trailed behind him. And if he stopped, then everything kind of jerks
Yeah,
forward for a second.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So I threw a couple of links into BuzzNet. One of them is almost an hour and a half of different Aikido techniques, which is that's like the martial art that I'm thinking Danielle would know
Okay.
and make use of. And it's actually really neat because it shows you the basics very slowly at first, and then as you get toward the end, they're using more and more advanced techniques. And it's really impressive, the different stuff they do.
So will I be a master by the time I finish the hour?
Absolutely, Wolf.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then it's worth my time.
And the second link is different techniques using a bokken, but it's the same core martial art, which is pretty cool.
Using a what? Oh, a bokken?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The wooden sword.
Yep. And the third?
Nope, just those two. I tried putting them in the same line, and it kind of strung them together. So.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. I see.
Fancy.
I should have
So,
noticed that. Yeah, that'll be fun to check out. I like Aikido. It's very pretty art.
It's so much fun to practice. And it's a real privilege when you get to see someone that, they've trained in it for most of their life, and seeing how refined their technique is. It's just a real treat.
Yeah, it's a lot like magic.
Yeah.
It's like, how the heck did he do that? Yeah, I am familiar with that.
And being on the receiving end of a lot of those techniques, I ask that question every single time.
Yeah, I know. I can't count how many times I've stood up and been like, I didn't see you move. How can I learn it if I didn't see you move?
Yeah.
Also,
Actually.
my chest bones hurt.
I will put a third link in here.
Also, thank you, Sergio, for popping that up on your screen for anybody who watches.
You're welcome.
This one is a fair bit shorter, but if you skip to about the 3-minute mark, there's different techniques, some versus knife, some versus gun. But at the 3-minute mark, there's an awesome free 2 versus 1 fight, or sparring anyways.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Cool. I'll try not to spend all my time watching these because I can get addicted to watching this kind of stuff. I openly admit that.
Yeah, the only thing worse than TV tropes is YouTube.
Alrighty, on that note, Wolf, are you ready?
Yep.
Coming your way, buddy.
All right.
Show me the magic. It's magic!
It is.
Well, you're showing it to me, and I said, show me the magic, so I presume it's magic.
So you talked about this trio, Steve, last time.
I did talk about that trio.
And so I worked on these two a little, and so came up with this for the first one, and then this for the other. And I used this band again, and
I love that. Ooh, did you change up the band?
yeah. Well, this is the same. And I tried this. And I tried this. And I also did the stuff that me and Sergio were talking about last time. About
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on the recording or not. I can't remember. But as far as well, I'll take back to this one. So where this one was smaller, I wasn't using this. So for the first thing I tried to do is just to make this one bigger like this and see how that evens it out. And I think that looks good. I mean, it keeps the idea of this being this shield arm intact. And then I tried it more Sergio's way, where he suggested putting this piece on the other side. So you have like the thick part down here, and then it's kind of thick up here, so you kind of have that counterbalance. So what do you think of that, Sergio? These two.
I like it. Do you have it's shaped. What I was saying the other time was this, but keeping the arm small in that arm.
This arm?
Yeah, that one. But yeah, I think it works. Maybe it's kind of weird because the actual lithium is not at the center. I don't know how to explain it. The balance is shifted, but in the body, in the position. I don't mean the armor, but
Yeah, he's not like a perfect T-pose.
Okay, yeah. I see.
but I think
Yeah.
it will work. I mean,
Anyway, that this is I guess I don't know if you thought it'd be better to have a small one here, but anyway, it's easier to visualize once you put these things up. So, and Steve, what do you think about these ones? Are these either of these an improvement, or just different, or worse? Or?
No, it's some improvements. I'm a fan. I'm just kind of comparing little detail. And
I mean, I'm fine with this one being the one. I mean, it is a nice looking one, but
Just have options, sort of thing.
yeah, I mean, it's just. But
I think I'm a fan of the third to last. Yes.
this one,
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the headband. I like the asymmetry with the shoulder armor.
That's what you can.
And as opposed to the second to the last, I like that the
Uh-huh.
heaviest of armor is all on one side. And then it lightens up on the other side, so one arm is kind of a battering ram and the other arm is going to have a speed advantage. On the third to last one.
Oh yeah,
The second to last one
Yeah.
kind of balances them back and forth, and I don't like that as much.
Oh yeah, cool. I like this one kind of interferes with this being the speed arm,
Yeah, exactly.
so it kind of this makes more sense to me.
Like one shoulder to lean into a fight
Yeah.
that can take a beating, and the other one's fast.
But I think it looks less odd when you have this one big too, instead of like how I first did it with this one being a little one and this, this
Yeah.
arm guard.
Yeah,
or-
yeah, that applies
Wrist guard.
specifically to the shoulder. That shoulder being
Yeah.
smaller, just whether or not it would really be practically
Right.
faster or not, it sells as being faster.
Right. Well, it should at least be more bendable. I mean, it should be, even if it's not faster, it should.
Yeah,
be
you should have
able
more
to
flexibility
Move it
with
around.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
flexibility.
And I do like the chest piece on that one too.
Yeah. What do you think about this one?
I like that in concept, but for some reason, every time I look at it, it looks like a Muppet face to me.
Muppet face.
I was gonna say I can't tell if it looks sad or angry.
So maybe.
No, it's not a Muppet's face. It's a Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So, which ones were those? The bird
Yeah,
ones?
the
or-
bird bad guys.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, I was like, I should like that 3-1 because I like odd numbered stuff, and I was sitting here for the longest time. But what the heck does that remind me of?
Yeah. Because it's a slopey thing where the middle of all of these are supposed to be a little closer to us, so it kind of slopes towards us as it comes up, and so it slopes away as it goes away. So that's a perfect setting for a beak when it looks like this. Yeah, I didn't quite see that. I thought it's like, well, it kind of has a little bit of a jack-o'-lantern kind of outlook, but
Yeah,
didn't see
if you
all
take
that.
the dark brown underneath it, then yeah, I can see jack-o'-lantern too.
If you take what?
The darker brown area right underneath the chest
Oh.
piece into account.
Yeah.
In fact, the more I look at it, the more I'm going to see faces in it, so I have to quit looking at that
Right.
one.
But the thing is, I didn't know. I mean, maybe it's okay that maybe it should be even more of a face. I mean, that could be interesting because I mean, they've definitely done that in human history to drive fear, and especially in helmets and stuff, to look like creatures. And
That's
Yeah.
true. Or the shark face on airplanes and whatnot.
yeah, so I mean, it would make sense for it to be a scary face, but maybe not a Muppet face.
Not a Skeksis, yeah. Let's,
All right, right.
Dark Crystal is too
So-
dear to me.
Yeah, it could be something like that. It wasn't really meant to be a face. I realize it looks kind of face-like. I mean, it looks like this could be a mouth, but it also looks like it could be a nose, and then it looks like maybe these could be teeth or something. But anyway, so I'm glad you like this band. I was worried that you would think it was too much like a crown and that would bother you for some reason. But
Yeah, see, I really thought that was how I would feel, but that's working for me. I can't even
Yeah,
nail
that's cool.
exactly why.
Right. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because as it comes up here, that just gives more protection to a little more solid protection there. So
Yeah.
um, it doesn't, and it could be, I don't know. It's nice design, and especially if Alethians visited Earth, uh, their band thing could have inspired us to wear crowns, because they were kind of uh, godlike or something, and trying to emulate them with wearing crowns makes sense. So if that, you know, that's their interpretation of this, could be. All right, and then for this up here, that basically I changed down here, and everything else is the same, but that was a mess before. But I decided to make these little metal plate things because I already have that up there and right here, so it has it gives a balance of that, and it fits in. And then I added another sharp point, so those two to the silhouette. So I did that, and then here I added a band for him. Down here I tried these little straps here, which I don't have up there. And then over here I just took off the scale skin armor. I was thinking that could even be, it could do both in the game, like but this could be, the scale skin could be something that you buy, and it like reduces maybe reduces poison damage or elemental damages or something, that has some property. So
Cool.
and it would be kind of cool, like you maybe start off like this, but then you buy that, and then suddenly you have this the graphic of that on underneath.
Nice.
That could be kind of cool.
I really like that armor. I think it feels like he could really move in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't restrict him.
Right.
And can you zoom in it a bit?
What? Oh, zoom in
a bit.
on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, thanks. Me too. It's like it's funny because this is I mean I did screw up on the leg, or the this part at first, but other than that, which was an easy fix, I pretty much got to this right away. This is the first thing I saved. I didn't try any other armors, and it just kind of worked. So surprisingly, I was happy about that. But I don't think I think this is pretty much for whatever this class is. I mean, I think it works as a scout or a DP, damage per second guy, someone who's not going to be a tank, but is going to be able
To deal out some damage.
do good
Yeah.
attacking damage with
If the Alethians have the equivalent of a
trade-off.
sniper, this would be it.
with the trade-off of taking more damage, or not being able to take as much damage.
I think
Yeah,
as far as the straps that go up to the pelvis, I think we ought to keep those on all of them.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they're especially make sense on this one over these ones, because these ones there could be something where it's attached to that gives it extra security. But yeah, I think it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense here.
There is only one thing
Yep.
I will probably not change but move.
So
It's in the biceps you have that protection.
yeah.
I will probably rotate that to cover the side of the arm a bit more.
Over here.
Yeah, and not so much the biceps because I do like it, but the thing is when he bends his arm, he will stick the upper part of that in his deltoid. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, the upper edge will probably stick into
Okay,
to
yeah.
him. I don't know. It wouldn't
In
work
the
exactly
shoulder?
like that.
The deltoid's up here, right?
Yeah, it comes.
Yeah, up there, but
Oh, like right here.
yeah, like if you're doing a bicep curl, the muscle right above your bicep is your deltoid,
Right.
and so yeah, if he's bringing that arm up into a curl, especially with the bicep expanding and putting pressure on it, that's gonna dig into a lot of places.
True.
You mean dig in right here?
Yeah, right there and at
Yeah.
the elbow.
I mean, it wouldn't be so much, but I kind of
Right.
think that the actual protection should be more on the side. Not only because of that, but because you're most likely to be hit.
Along
Yeah.
the outside or the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to look as good though, because right now, you've got this facing here and this facing here, so you've got this space right here. Otherwise, if you put it over here, it's going to be kind of connecting right here, almost like one thing, and it's
Yeah.
just not going to look as good. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
think
wouldn't have the same breaks in it.
the one thing that we could do is just shrink it a little bit. I mean, it's like, yeah, it is coming down a little. Like, it could be up a little, and it could be down a little here. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, and you will keep the same breaks in the armor, and
Right.
that will.
yeah.
Wolf, I have an idea here.
So
As far as that shoulder plate,
right here.
yeah. What if you extended that down just a little bit so that it does cover part of the outer edge of the arm?
It could.
That wouldn't interfere with mobility at all, and it would give him a little bit more protection on the outside.
Yeah, and that wouldn't look bad with the brakes if you shrunk the bicep a little. That would still flow all right.
Yeah. So like maybe down to here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
not down to the elbow, but
Right. Yeah, it could. I mean, it would still look like light armor. I mean, I did it small because I wanted it to read as lighter armor, but
Yeah, but I love the breaks. I love the silhouette.
Yeah.
That one I really like.
yeah, I agree.
thanks. Yeah, I like it as well. So yeah, so whatever this is, if whether it's a DP or a scout or maybe even something that you can adjust and play as either, I think this is with a few alterations, obviously, but it's going to look better when I actually do the good detail and stuff. But you'll be able to make out, what's happening three-dimensionally in all those areas. But yeah, I think that's just pretty much it. Like, it's almost oddly easy after how difficult and how many trials and alterations I've done for this one. But, and I kind of like it better a little bit, even though I really like this stuff. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much ready to move on to another class, like maybe a mage necromancer thing or something. Start messing around with that.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
it was
I'm
funny you
still-
brought that up, Sergio, because Wolf and I were talking about that before you got there. He was kind of hitting that same burnout point with what he was working on.
Military can't do.
Right. I mean, it kind of gets crazy because it's all these like little changes to this breastplate, and maybe a little up here, but I mean, it's just it kind of all runs together, and it's just like, is this any different than what I've done? I mean, it's like it's infinite possibilities, but it also it also ends up feeling infinitely limited as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it becomes a question of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Artwork is never done. You can always do more, but there
Right.
comes a point where
Right.
you're not getting any value for the amount of time you're spending.
Right.
Yeah.
And I haven't been sure, like I'm doing all this, and I got to this one a long time ago, and I've been doing all these different things, and it's like, well, I already know I have one that people like and it works, so it's just like it kind of seems, as going, can we find anything else that people will like and
Yeah,
and
well,
it'll work for this?
it becomes less. I'm making an improvement to this, and becomes
Right.
more. I'm just trying to figure out something different to do.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree. And when you hit that wall, take a left turn and go somewhere else. And so.
And there's certainly nothing wrong with coming back to it later if
Right.
you get some idea that just pops into your head. You can run with it then.
Or just
Right, well, that's-
fresh eyes. You come back later and look at it and
Yeah.
go, "Oh my God, I can't believe that didn't jump out at me before."
Right. And also just trying to do other stuff might just give me like doing this armor could have inspired me to do something different with this
Yep.
armor. It didn't, but it could have.
Yeah, by all means, if you want to move to another class, if you want to go back to
Yeah.
human, both, by all means, take a turn there, because you have really pounded on this, and it would have burned me
Yeah.
out a long time ago. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
have the
it
patience with
is-
goldfish, but
It is kind of, I feel like I've gotten my money back a little bit in doing this one because it was like so easy in comparison. It's like, because this is just one step. I mean, look at all these different these and and these things, and it's all just in discovering these guys, but I mean here it's just a little, I did this, and then I basically did this, but kind of did a bad design on this, and then fixed that, and then done.
Well, you remember what Derek said. You could basically go through potentially hundreds of concept drawings before you land on one that somebody likes.
Right,
Yep.
So it's part of the process.
right.
Yep.
That's pretty neat that this one went early. So what about the headband? No one spoke about the headband.
I'd say that's a win.
yeah, I'm gonna call that a win. I like that.
Sweet.
It has to be a win. It has a V for victory.
There you go. Well, in that case,
Is
shouldn't
it a
there be
V, though?
second V though for win?
Is it a V, or is it some alien symbol that involves two characters?
Yes. Can I choose yes?
Or could it be a sentence involving all of these?
I will take yes for 400, Bob.
I think it's the Alethian version of pew pew.
Right.
No, it's the Alethian version of future tech.
Yes.
That is an F in Alethian.
Oh, I could show you that. Well, let me show you that this is nothing. That this is something I did like 4 years ago or something. Um, you see how this dragon is in this pose, which I got this pose off of a dragon toy. It's just fixed like this, and
Is the actual dragon inspired by that toy?
Somewhat. I can't remember exactly how much. These legs are.
Okay. As you brought that up, I'm
There is-
like, I've seen that before. What the?
Yeah, you might have. And here's another one. It's a couple of toys my niece had, and so I drew them and I did a animation thing, but I didn't really understand what was going. Like, the important thing about this pose is that this is at rest.
Yeah.
It's at rest, so it's bending down, but it's just like I just thought like, oh, that's the how it stabilizes itself, and I didn't get it, but so I have this animation.
That's fine, but it needs to be turned so we can see enough of it.
But as you can, could you catch that?
Yeah.
I'm clicking through it because if I play it, you'll never be able to see it. But I mean, it's like, especially like things like I don't know, like right here. This should be like straight or near straight. I have it like it's staying bent the entire time. Like this leg is still bent, like that should be down, all this.
Well, it would have a little bend into it. It would just...
Yeah, but
yeah, you
but
could
I
straighten it further.
basically, it's like right here, like it would have a little bend right here, but it shouldn't be like that. It's like, why is this still going back that much? It wouldn't be. But
Okay,
but yeah,
I have to ask, what made you decide to use 6 frames?
to use what?
6 frames.
Oh, six frames? Yeah. I don't remember. That was like 4 years ago or something.
Oh, you did the animation way back then too?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just found it and were playing with it.
No, I was reminded of it when I saw what was it, last week or the week before?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Sergio's
What's when I saw Sergio's animation.
Yeah.
He basically did the same thing. He kept it in the rest stage while it was walking or running, and this is a kind of a running animation, and it's like this, like it has to be all this bizarrely mashed up like that because this on this side I'm keeping it bent, so he's like, keep it bent, so he has to bend his legs to move it forward when he should be like I mean, I have him going up and down, but he should be doing that a lot more. Like this should be pretty straight. So yeah, I just thought like, oh, this needs to be bent like that. I don't know, but I just wanted to show Sergio that I did the same thing.
Or I'll look at your shoes.
That's pretty good for 4 years ago, though, dude. And for only 6 panels.
Yeah,
for a real
I don't
walk
know.
cycle, I would do like not less than a dozen.
Yeah, well, I was gonna make a little game with that, but it's like I managed to do this even though I screwed up on it. Can you see the animation
Yeah,
at all?
it
or
looks
is
pretty
it just...
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, but I mean it's incorrect, but the thing is, I try to do other things with it, like when I try to do attack things and move it and do all the 3/4 things, and then I was just getting disgusted with it. So I'm like, oh, you need to get better, and well, it's, I'm still working on getting better. So
Take videotape, yeah.
That's pretty impressive,
Anyway.
though. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's cool that you dug that up.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean? How
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
the
not
same things we were discussing about
Yeah.
at the time about getting more of an extension.
right? Which is why, like, when I first saw it, I knew exactly what he had done, and I'm like, yeah, been there.
Very cool. Alrighty, anything else to show us art-wise, Wolf?
Not really.
Alrighty, in that case, to those who are viewing this later, I am going to shut off the recording now, although I do have some things I wish to discuss with my team. If you want to be there for these fun and interesting discussions, you should come join us live. And on that note, I will say goodbye to those who are watching the recording, but not goodbye to the people who are here with me. Goodbye, everybody.